Hello, World Cars Entertainment here, and some of y'all may know me, longtime fans know me as Aaron. Now, today we've had some big, giant news. This video is really meant for anyone, mainly Pixar fans. As you know, Cars has been announced as a series, and this is big news for Cars fans. There are Cars fans if you're Pixar fans. Some people don't like Cars. Cars 2, mainly, yes. But a lot of people don't like Cars for some reason. Now, it's your opinion if you don't like Cars, but this video is mainly just some theories, ideas, and what I think about a Cars series. So, in the video, it was announced that we are getting a short film, a lot of short films, like Dory Finding, or Cookie Num Num, and one of them is called Cars, Dancing with the Cars. Now, this reminds me of that Disney on Ice thing that was on like years ago that happened. And I do think a short film, honestly, is a great way to start Cars on Disney Plus, because we haven't seen Cars animated since Cars Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, a ride in Florida Disney World. But then there was Miss Fritter's Racing School, the short film with Cars 3 on DVD. And so it's been a long time since we've seen Cars as something animated-wise. And you're probably thinking, oh yeah, well there hasn't been anything for like this for like Monsters Inc. or something or Up. That's true, but they tend to always do something for Cars because, believe it or not, the toys sell a lot more than Up. And so people are excited for this because there's a lot of collectors for Cars. As you can see, I'm a Cars collector. So this is definitely an exciting year for Cars fans, because, or at least next year will be, because we will get a short film. Now, what I will think will happen in the short film, maybe there will be like a dance-off or something happening in Raider Springs. Who knows? Maybe Raider Springs is hosting a dance-off or something. And maybe Cruise will be centered of it, because we haven't seen Cruise in a long time as a focus thing. And I think this will be the great way to focus Cruise and then McQueen and Mater for the series, which was announced by a tweet by Disney saying McQueen and Mater are the focus. And so this will definitely be exciting. And looking at the title, it looks very Route 66-esque. So I do think it's going to be Raider Springs focused, which is exciting because we haven't seen Raider Springs as a main focus since the short film that was released in 2015, was it, or 14? So this is definitely going to be nice because they have a land specifically around Raider Springs, so kind of sponsor it a little bit more. So yeah, that's exciting. Next, and I do think characters like DJ could return, maybe Mia and Tia, maybe Minnie and Dan. So I do think some characters will return. Maybe some characters from Cars 3, like Miss Fritter or the Legends. So next off, we're going to the series, which is releasing in 2022 of fall. Now that's a while away, but I think it's kind of good to spread it out, give something new each year for Cars, because, by the way, next year is the 15th anniversary of Cars, so a short film is nice. So yeah, I think a series is not a way to celebrate 15 years. A short is probably a good way to celebrate it. So now the series. It says old characters and new characters. So let me describe the plot of the series. Mater and McQueen go on a trip around the country. Now this is exciting because we haven't really seen the U.S. as much in the Cars world. Really, all we've seen is Arizona, California, some racetracks which are around the world, but it's just racetracks are all the same. We've seen Florida quite a bit. So I do think it'd be cool if we get to see more of California, like Hollywood and all that kind of stuff, because we have not seen that really at all. We've only seen it like once in McQueen's Daydream. And then we could see landmarks like maybe St. Louis would be a cool place to visit, like the Arch. We could see New York, which will be really cool to see. We have seen these landmarks in a book, but I think animated would be a cool way to introduce it. Maybe we could see places like Texas or Missouri, or like a lot of places. I can see a lot of places introduced, which should be really cool. Now, the plot I could think of would maybe take place after Cars 3, Because it seems like they're doing that with the Doug Days, which is another series coming to Disney Plus, which takes place after Up. Now, I can see this taking place after I can see this taking place after Cars 3, where McQueen is now retired, and McQueen and Mater did say he would be on the road now if he retires, and so I could kind of see this implementing that idea in Cars 3, which I think is kind of clever. Like, they kind of planned this or something. So that is very creative, and it makes me like the scene a little bit more now, because it kind of references a series, which is a scene that people kind of overlooked in Cars 3. So I do think this is a great idea. Now, I do hope more characters come with them, like Sally, Fillmore, Luigi and Guido, Mac would be a great character to add, because John Ratzenberger is definitely the voice actor of all the Pixar movies, and I could definitely see him having some comedic charm in a series. So, and a while ago, we did see some leaks of the cars, like the townies, dressed up in like road trip kind of outfits. So I do think that's cool. Now, they said old characters. Now, a lot of people are thinking the townies are going to be here, but I think there's going to be a lot more. Maybe, like, the tuners could return. They're usually on the road, so that's a great way to implement them. It'd be stupid if they didn't implement them, because they're characters who are on the road, and they're going on a road trip. Then there's characters like Minnie and Van, who are travelers in Cars 1. So, once again, great way to implement them. There could also be McQueen fans like Minnie and Van, Albert Hinkie, he is an RV, RVs are meant to travel. There could be Rusty and Dusty, because they're retired as well. Then again, the actor of Rusty is dead, so I don't know how they would incorporate that. They did with Cars 3 using recorded lines, but who knows. Now, this is a possibility. They could introduce characters like Francesco, Jeff Gorvette, or Holly and Finn McMissile from Cars 2. But I don't know if they would do them. Maybe Jeff Gorvette, because he is in Cars 3. But the others, I don't know, because they tried to ignore Cars 2 for some reason, because it did not get good, reception. But at the same time, it's a sequel, and I think they should embrace these characters, because I really did like Finn McMissile and Francesco in Cars 2. They are some of my favorite characters from the Cars franchise. So I do think incorporating them would be a great idea into a series, but I don't know if they would go through that for a series. Now, some other characters could return. We haven't seen Bessie in forever. I know she's a road paving machine, but they can always implement her in the background, which would be a cool background piece. But another thing I want to mention is that they did say new characters. What new characters? I have been discussing this with COOLection TV and TheCarsShifter, both amazing cars YouTubers. If you want to check them out, they make amazing videos. But it has been wondering who would these new characters be, and COOLection TV came up with the idea that it could be Cruz's family. Now, Cruz probably won't go on the road trip. I don't know if she might. There's a possibility she might, but Cruz's family would be a cool concept, because she's mentioned them in Cars 3, and we don't know anything about them. And there was a deleted scene mentioning her grandfather, but that was it. So I think their inclusion would be really cool for a series. Lastly, another new character that could possibly be introduced is Bubba from The Storytellers, which, if you don't know what that is, it is a book, which is a bunch of old characters that the townies knew. I think he would be, honestly, a great inclusion. But I don't know if they would include characters that have already existed. Like, there are characters from the video games that are new, that have never been seen in the movies. And then there's characters from the books, like Bubba. And then there's... Now, they could include Flo's, friends, which are the Showstoppers, which is her origin, because they can be seen in Cars Land. So they definitely have mentioned them a lot. So it's a possibility. Who knows? Maybe we can also see Uncle Topolino return, or Luigi's uncle. But yeah. Now the series. Now some other ideas I have on who can return. There's Chick Hicks. There's the King, Tex Danico. They can go back to the Rusty's Racing Center. They can go back to Thunder Hollow. Because I'm not a fan of what they use Thunder Hollow for, but I like Thunder Hollow as an idea. And I think seeing that place more would be a great idea, honestly. Who knows? Maybe they can incorporate some of the concepts from the ending of Cars 3. You can see some pictures. Maybe they can incorporate that into the series. Lastly, I do hope Radiator Springs is in it quite a bit, because it is a key part of Cars 1. So I do want to see more of Radiator Springs as well. It'd be a great place. But I do also want to see story in this, because from what I've heard, it sounds like McQueen and Mater on a road trip. I hope it's not McQueen and Mater going to a destination, doing something maybe with these new characters, and then on to the next place. I do hope there's a story. As I say that, Mandalorian has done that, but they've incorporated story. So maybe they could do that with a story. But I do hope they have an actual compelling story that can affect, like, I guess, our longtime favorite characters, like McQueen and Mater. Yeah. Another thing is, a lot of people are probably wondering, I hope Jackson Storm shows up, or I hope these next gens show up. I don't think that's a good idea. Because we have seen racing in Cars 1, 2, and 3. We've seen Piston Cup racing Cars 1 a little bit. And that was, I do like it. In Cars 1, I absolutely love it. Cars 2 was around the world, racing, eh. And then Cars 3 is heavily influenced on racing. I think I'm done with racing. I actually want an actual road trip, which is what Cars do. I want more elements of what Cars do. And I think a road trip is honestly a great idea. So, I do hope they include no racing. Now, definitely mention it. Like, say, Cruz is off, doing this. Maybe we can get references, obviously. Like, Storm could possibly make like cameos. Cameos, like Chase races a lot, which is voiced by Chase Elliott, an actual NASCAR racer. So, I do hope that these characters, they do this very well. And because Cars, honestly, a lot of people have negative thoughts on Cars, and I do want this to be good for the people who hate Cars can actually come in and like it. So, I do think this is a great idea. Now, this part of the video is going to be more on the diecast part, so I'm basically done with the series part. So, if you're a diecast collector, you're going to want to stick around for this part. So, what are they going to do with the diecast? Are they going to make diecast off of these characters? Obviously, yes, because they've done that with the Cars Toon stuff. So, that would be great. So, I do think, I don't think they should do a side series. Now, it'd be cool if they did a side series, but at the same time, the main line is now doing everything. Like, no side series. There's no series, because that's how the diecast work. They have, like, a series saying, this car was in Thunder Hollow, or this car was in Mercedes Racing Center, or this car was not in Dynaco 400, or stuff like that. Maybe saying, like, on the back of the package it says that this character's in Cars 3. So maybe on the back they could say Cars, the series, which I think would be a great way to implement that into the series, into the diecast, sorry. Cars from the series into the diecast line. I think that'd be a great way. And also unique characters. We get more unique characters, because I feel like Cars 3 didn't have that many unique characters, or at least a lot compared to Cars 2 and 1. So I do think this will be a really good idea, and I'm happy they're doing something for Cars fans, because the Cars line has been pretty dry for a while. So I am happy that we are getting stuff. Anyways, this is it for this video. I'm gonna be making more videos talking about Cars, the series, once more gets revealed, and I will do reactions and reviews on my channel. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. See ya.